Hey, everybody. We just want to thank you guys for joining us tonight to have an info session about our opportunity for exhibition in our office space. My name is Travis Washington. I am one of the program managers here at Urban Art Commission, and this is.
And my name is Richard Eccles. We also have in the chat and in this Zoom live, we also have our executive director, Lakeisha Edwards. She just popped in the chat and she said, hey, so if you do have any questions that you want to kind of put in the queue, you can just go ahead and send it in the meeting chat that we have on the Zoom. And who else do we have on our staff is for operations and development manager. We have Kelly Seagraves, and we also have our senior program manager, Kayla J. Smith Hardy, who is here in person with us. And we also have our new communications manager, Belinda Herrera, who's also here in person with us as well.
So as we get started, first I want to talk a little bit about us and who we are and what we do. UAC was founded in 1997. UAC has worked to establish the Percent for Art program with the city of Memphis, which annually allocates a percentage of the city's capital improvement funds to public art projects. Beyond the Percent for Art program, UAC manages and is a leading partner in city-led initiatives such as Memphis 3.0 and the District Mural Program.
All right, and so what we're all here for, we'll be talking about utilizing our space as a exhibition space and what this opportunity looks like. This opportunity prioritizes Memphis-based artists, people that are in the Memphis metropolitan area. The deadline for this opportunity is January the 17th. So thank you all for your attendance. To just learn a little bit more about what this opportunity entails, and also to ask any questions for those that are interested in applying. So without any further ado, we will get into the scope of work.
Yes. So for the scope of work on this project, or this opportunity, better to say, we are seeking artists and artist teams to exhibit their work in our office exhibition space located at 422 North Cleveland Street, Memphis, Tennessee, right not far from Crosstown, if you guys are familiar with the area. This is a free exhibition opportunity for, like Richard said, local Memphis metropolitan area artists or artists based in this area. This initiative is designed to support and showcase the creativity of our artistic community. Artists are encouraged to consider the unique characteristics of our office exhibition space in their proposals, which includes the dimensions and layout of our space, the lighting conditions, accessibility conditions, and any structural limitations and opportunities within the space. So with that, I just want to let you all know that we are in office usually Tuesday through Thursday from 10 to 5. So you can contact us at any point in time or stop by during those hours if you would like to see the space ahead of time and just get a better feel of what it actually feels like when you're in the space. It's one thing to see images, but it's another feeling and another vibe to actually come in the space, see it, and then try to think about how you can activate and use this space.
Mm-hmm. And can you talk a little bit more about artists and artist teams and what that looks like for the application?
Yes. So with that, you can apply individually by yourself, or you can apply as a duo team, a cohort of teams, or persons, however you want to. The only main thing that we are really looking for when you apply, or I won't say really looking for, we want you to have ready-made work, so work that has already been completed. Either you still have access to this work or it is in your possession. That way you don't have to kind of run and feel like that last second thing that most of us artists do and trying to finish up the piece or go back and make these last retouches to the work. We definitely want that. And we want you guys to, if you are collaborating, to be as expressive and open as you can. This is really an opportunity for you kind of showcase and kind of step outside the bounds of what you may usually be expected to do in a traditional space and gallery space. But if you are a traditional gallery artist or painting duo, feel free to use the space in that same manner.
All right, so more about the scope of work. We have 3 windows, so there will be 3 awardees for 3 different time frames. And in your application, you will have an opportunity to select all timelines that apply. So whether it's the window from February the 3rd to April the 25th, whether it's a window from May 5th to July the 18th or August 4th to November the 17th. Those windows include the installation timeline, where we detail here that in each window, your installation must be complete. If you choose the first window, the 14th, and of course, your work needs to be down by the last day, whether it's the April 25th. For the May 5th timeline, the install must be complete by May 16th, and the deinstallation needs to be done, of course, by the 18th. And the same for the third window, August 4th. Your installation needs to be done by August the 15th, and the deinstall needs to be done by November the 17th. Within that time window, you have your installation and deinstallation, but you also have, if you are interested in doing an opening or a closing exhibition, it has to be within that time frame. So communicating those dates and time with us, so we can be able to support support the promotion of that. So any promotional materials, anything that you may have, all of that will be great once you have been selected. Once you've been selected for a particular opportunity, whether it's the first window, second window, or third window, it's great to, we'll send you a follow-up email so you can be able to send over all that important information for our communications team, so we can be mindful of that, so we can be able to support you with that. And when it comes to the application process, you may say, hey, well, which one should I choose? If any of these timeframes is not a conflict with your schedule, to enhance your opportunity, I would apply for all three. I would just say, hey, all three work with my schedule, which will just enhance your opportunity to get this opportunity to use the space. So that's just kind of a rundown of just the time windows and how they will be spaced out throughout the year. So there'll be 3 awardees, 3 finalists. And here are the details that we have listed for just the installation, the deinstallation, and what that will look like. I'm gonna go to the next slide.
Okay, so here, as he said, this kind of continues on the scope of work, but project expectations. Artists are responsible for the following: the installation and deinstallation. This includes any necessary wall repairs or painting. We at UAC will supply wall putty and paint and some small tools. Anything outside of that, the artists or RT's teams are responsible for. The next would be exhibition maintenance, ensuring that the exhibition remains in good order, in good condition throughout its duration. Like I said, we are here and we will do our best to make sure that the work is unharmed and undamaged, but we do ask that you still periodically check in to make sure that your work is in the condition in which you installed, and let us know it as well. Event coordination, as Richard just spoke to, organizing any related events such as opening reception and coordination with our team. This will allow us to assist you in promoting through all our social media channels, as well as making sure that we have this office and the space open for you on those days and hours, and that somebody's here to assist in any way. And I will be the main contact on that. Promotion. While we, as I just spoke on, we want to help promote through our channels, artists are encouraged to actively promote their shows as well. Of course, we want you guys to bring out as many people as you can to reach out. So our channels that we do have, we will readily use them for you guys, but everybody has different groups that they are connected to. So please definitely promote your show as well. Next will be the insurance. Artists are responsible for ensuring their work. Our organization is not liable for any damage or loss of the artwork. Payment and compensation, which most artists, as you know, when you have a show in a space, usually the space asks for a commission. We will not ask for any commission from any of the selected artists or funding. We will also not be providing any funding for any of the events or the installation and deinstall of the work. So once the work is installed, if anybody contacts us in interest and want to purchase a work or possibly work with you, we will direct them directly to you or your artist team and make sure that you guys are able to communicate with that possible collector or purchaser, and all funds and proceeds will go directly to you as the artist or the artist team. And then commission, UAC, like I said, will not take any commission on sales. All proceeds are directly sold to or given to the artist, and we allow the artist to directly handle that with any possible clients or potential buyers.
And I want to revisit the payment and compensation details, just to reiterate that this opportunity, the reward is be able to utilize the space. I know in a lot of our opportunities, there's a payment or a stipend or an honorarium involved. There will be no payment issue to any of the artists. What will be awarded is being able to utilize the space for your vision that you are pitching in your application. So just to keep that in mind. I know that, some things get lost in translation, and we don't want anybody that's awarded saying, hey, where's my honorarium at? I need some payment, to make this vision come to life. So just be mindful of that with what you are applying with. That's why it's going to be ideal to have, if not everything, the majority of all your work already ready, especially for those that are pitching to be in that first group, because as y'all know, February will be around the corner. So that first group will have a lot of pressure. That last group in the last window will have a little bit more flexibility. And that same can be said for the second window. So just something to keep in mind.
Yeah.
And you already answered this question, but they didn't get it here.
Okay.
They said, is there a way I can come by one day after I get off of work and talk to you about working with you?
Yes, most certainly. If you are speaking in the seeing the space, our hours are Tuesday through Thursday. Monday and Friday, we're typically remote. But I can schedule to meet with you if necessary. I know everybody's schedule is a little bit different, but Tuesday and Thursday, we're in office if you would like to see the office. And we also recommend that always, if possible, if you have the time and you have most of your materials already together that you plan on submitting, send them over ahead of time. We love to take a chance to look at them, give you extra feedback. You can schedule a one-on-one with us and we can meet in person and kind of give that same feedback, tell you what we think may enhance your opportunity or your chances. Now, none of the feedback guarantees you an actual slot or anything, but just because we're so used to the process and we know what a lot of people, the selections people like to see, we love to give that feedback and make sure you're not missing anything, or maybe you can put something in that you're thinking about maybe keeping out that enhance it and make it a little bit stronger. So definitely feel free to reach out to us, specifically me, at any point in time and schedule a one-on-one, or even, like I said, just to send it over via email and I can give you feedback that way if necessary.
And this is coming from the Instagram, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
The UAC website, and you can also DM us and we will get you to the person.
Yes.
yep, and at the end, we'll have contact information on our slideshow, so
Yes.
y'all can
And-
capture that.
And it is also on our website at the bottom of the page, my direct contact, my office number, email. So when you get to the very bottom of it, you will see that you can reach out to me, both of those manners.
Okay. So here are just some initial images of the space. For those that are here in person, we'll have their first like official, just kind of like walkthrough to just see what is free game to use in the office space. We are prioritizing the first portion of our office. So when you do a site visit, you'll be able to see that we have an area in the back where restrooms and stuff like that are set up. And when it comes to that space, that's going to be off limits. We're going to be prioritizing the front office space and the hallway that's going down. So I'll show you just kind of like the hallway that is being utilized. So anything in this front office space and down the hallway is going to be free game. And for any measurements or any detail that you may need to help with your proposal and your presentation for your application, we strongly encourage you to just come on by. Schedule a meeting, if anything, to just really get a good grasp on how the space look, because when it comes to these images, they only do justice to a certain extent. So just to, something to keep in mind when it comes to that. And we go back.
I just want to say, to add on to Richard's previous statement by saying how much of the space available. For those of you in here with us and those of you virtually here, please stop by. If you are a 3D artist, and this is just my personal opinion, don't take this too serious, feel free to use the ceiling. We have these amazing tall ceilings within certain limitations. If the weight is over too much, I definitely would recommend figuring out something else. But like I said, this is an opportunity for you to kind of step out of what you may traditionally be used to and, explore a little bit more, be a little bit more on your wild side. So if you have had thoughts about suspending work or any different things, please feel free to come by, check out that, because that is an option as well within reason. Yes, Belinda.
And you guys also answered this question. They asked, what if we're a new artist with no clientele? We all help with the sales.
We won't help with the sales, but what we will help with was the promotion of your, I think it'd be intentional for you to plan or designate an opening and a closing date. And I think a good thing for us to do, we can do is help with whatever promotion material you create or you come up with. So we'll help share out with that, but as far as promotions and sales, I think that's as far.
Yeah,
I think that's as far as.
like I said, anybody who may come in and see your work and want to purchase work, we will just put them in contact with you directly and allow you, the artist or the artist team, to work with their potential client and discuss prices and, you know, secure those funds. But that is about as far as we'll go on that
Mhm.
portion.
And we will have, as far as communications wise, have posts dedicated to your exhibition and whatnot.
Yep.
But that also can help you. So.
Yes.
Mhm. And it's in our space, so like I said, outside of the opening and the closing reception, people will be coming into our office for various reasons, whether it's for meetings or stuff like that, so you never know when somebody might see something, and if they do, we'll put them in contact with you, to get things sold.
Yeah.
But another thing to keep in mind as well, if you visit our website, when you come by, you'll see that we have a little area dedicated for our tiny gallery. That's something that we personally curate in-house as well, but this is not an opportunity that you can apply for, but that will run in concurrent and that will run with all exhibitions. So that'll be a separate gallery that will be running also along with the main gallery space. So you can expect for that work to change out and be rotated out, but it will not be included into the actual programming or the installation that will be in the main space. So that's just something to keep in mind. Right now, we have Ramona
Sonnet.
that's on display at our tiny gallery. And so, yes, that's something that we want to make sure that everyone knows is separate. But I just think it's a great conversation piece that to see that the work that'll be in here will be kind of paired up and on display with that tiny gallery space. So just something to think about when it comes to what we have available here in the office. So I'll let you talk a little bit more, Travis, about the project timeline.
Okay, so these are pretty much our dates that were important. Of course, this call was released December the 12th, 2014. Today is the 7th of January, so that will be our info session. The call itself will close on January the 17th, 2025 at midnight. So as we all know, as artists, we have a tendency to kind of wait till the 11:32 to start putting stuff together. At 11:49.
Don't wait. Please don't wait.
Don't do it to yourself. Like I said, if you got any ideas, you got any questions, reach out to us ahead of time if you need any help. Like I said, we use Submittable, which is an online platform. It is super smooth and easy to use. There are tutorials that help you kind of go through the process. And even if you don't get it then, feel free to contact me. I can help walk you through the process and making sure you get all of your materials submitted. But please, please, please do not wait to the last moment. I do not want anybody to miss out on a potential opportunity. And then we will, once the call is closed on the 17th, voting will take place. All of submissions will be looked over. And once the final 3 have been chosen, we will notify the artist the week of January 27th, my apologies, long day. 2025, we will notify you all. And then the following week, we will make a post to the public to let everybody know who those selected were. But you all will know by January the 26th, the week of January the 27th.
And just some helpful tips to think about when it comes to the application. A typed letter explaining your interest into this call, your approach and your concept for the exhibition. Something to think about is this, just like a helpful tips when it comes to your interest letter, and we can kind of talk about this together. But don't treat it purely as an artist statement, right? Don't take that opportunity to just talk about who you are as an artist, and what you love to make. Use it as an opportunity to sell what you want to be displayed in this space. So yes, there should be a moment in an introduction dedicated to saying, hey, this is who I am. This is, my work, but it should be heavily centered around, this is what I want represented. This is what I want people to take away from this space. This is what, my work actually looks like from a descriptive standpoint. Yeah. And then your 20 images should be a visual representation of what you just talked about. So, yeah. And when we're looking at these applications, I think it's just so easy for us as artists to just kind of talk about like, the concepts and
Theories.
the theories, but not really focus on like the visual aspect. And that's what you're kind of going to be judged against, is like really your ability to be able to communicate what you want on display in the space, and how descriptive you can be in that. You have anything to add to that?
Not really, but I do want to say Richard pretty much perfectly explained that. Like you said, this is because it's a little bit different from our typical process of how we do our call to orders, because you normally have that little heartstring moment and you usually are speaking more to your the theory of your work and kind of explaining why. But like you said, in this one is an opportunity to really be descriptive and intentional on how you use or plan to use this space and activate this space, which is once again, like I said, another reason why I emphasize, if you have the chance and opportunity, stopping by to see the space in person, so you can think of those things, those descriptive words, how you may want to hang work, if you want to project on a wall, and then you can come back and write in your letter of interest exactly that, detailing those moments, and even go into detail on if you plan on having an open reception, what that will look like, what your closing reception will look like, if you're having a performance, giving those details. So you have that descriptive and it becomes visual. And like I said, using those images of the up to 20 images of work that has been created already, or that you plan on having in the space. So it can be also, it adds to the visual descriptive nature of what you're writing and helps be seen of what you might be putting in the space.
I got a question.
Said, are the selections a competition or selected to be shown in the gallery? I think what she means is, are the selection committees deciding which exhibition wins out of the year? I think that's.
Yes. So there will be 3 windows, and so essentially there'll be 3 awardees.
Mhm.
So there'll be 3 exhibitions throughout the year, and we can go back at the end and just kind of revisit those dates, but it starts in February. So yes, and I wanted to double back when it comes to your letter of interest. That applies also if you are applying as a group, right? So if it's a group exhibition, detailing all of the artists that will be on display, detailing what their work will look like in the space and how you plan on activating the space with their work. So yes, there is you can call it a competitive nature, but that's what that application process is going to be for. So we may have, let's just say we may have 40 applicants. Out of that 40 applicants, there will be 3 artists selected, one for the February timeline, one for the April window. Oh, no, I mean, not April, but for the May window, and then one for the August window.
Yep.
So I hope that answers your question. And of course, everything standard, resume, CV, related artists information, to just further, validate, what you're applying with, and also a list of 3 professional references that can speak to your, just your ability to be able to take care of what you are communicating, take care of what you're applying for. So those are things to be mindful for when applying. And of course, Travis or anybody here on the team can really help you just kind of hone in all of that stuff. We've have a success rate of those who take the initiative to come to these meetings, speak with us, show us stuff before they apply. They have a higher likelihood and a higher advantage in all of these opportunities. So please take advantage of it while the time does permit.
So here's just a little bit of kind of like the step-by-step of the actual application process, how to get to the links and things of that nature. So to apply, you will go on our website to uacmem.org/call to artist, and you'll follow the UAC exhibition space link and click on that link, and it'll take you to the page where the call is actually housed and living currently. You will follow that to the bottom of the page, and there will be a blue link down there for submit. Once you click on that, it will take you to the platform Submittable that I spoke about earlier, which contains all of our current open opportunities. Click that submit button and it'll directly take you there. You will have to create a profile on there, but it's free of charge. Like I said, it's super simple to get in and sign up for. And once you have that, you create, apply, and fill out all of the information, or attach and upload all of the information that we kind of just went over, which would be your 20 images, your CV, resume, three professional references, and your contact information. And from there, you'll just once you feel like you have everything in there completely submitted the way you want to, all you have to do is hit submit and you're good to go.
And all right. And so if you haven't looked already, this opportunity is live on our website. So this is what it will look like when you get to our website. You'll click that link at our opportunities tab. And yes, that will take us to what Travis just spoke about, is that submittable link. And let's see, what else do we have? We talked a little bit about, we actually covered all of this. So just referencing your scope of work is always important. So we made it more specific outside of this just kind of detailed language, and we can actually we can actually explain it a little bit more, but we really wanted to hit the nail on the head that like, don't spend the majority of your letter of interest, just focus more on like the theories and the concepts of your work, but really talk about how you want to use the space and what that will look like from a descriptive standpoint, and then use your images that you apply with to add visual context to what you just spoke about. And we spoke about this. This is just more details about just the references. Yes, we spoke all on that. It's gonna be all right.
Yeah,
it's gonna be great. You got any encouraging words, Travis?
take it easy. You know, don't take it too easy. Don't chill too much, but definitely relax. Like I said, this is a very relaxed opportunity. It's a great opportunity, but it's not the end of the world. But this is an opportunity, and this is only the beginning. Like I said, this is our first rendition of this, so this will become a more constant thing that UAC does from year to year to year to year, to continue to give artists other opportunities to show their work outside of always having to apply for a call. Just like I said, we're trying to give back to our artist community and help grow and help network and help build it and give as many opportunities as possible. So my main advice would be, take a couple days ahead of time. Like I said, don't wait till 11:39 on the 17th. Reach out to us as much as possible. Like I said, my email is always available. My phone is always available. I've been speaking with numerous people today, just giving feedback. And like I said, I'm always open to help as much as possible. But take a breath, and give yourself some time, and don't wait till the last minute. That's my biggest advice.
Okay. Well, I know we just shared a lot of information with you all. So the floor is open now for questions for those that are here in person and also virtually. So if you hear us talking to somebody here in person, or you hear us talking to somebody on Instagram, don't hesitate to go in the chat. I think in the Zoom, you also have the ability to raise your hand, but we just got a hand in person. What's your question? Okay.
My first question is about the samples.
Mm-hmm.
This was announced in December, and me as an artist, I was focusing on a new, the old work from last year. I don't want to do it. I don't want to submit any other work. So is it possible that I can submit samples of images of the pieces that I'm creating? Because I already know what I'm creating. I'm in the process of creating them now. And I'm not doing this by myself. I'm doing it with my other art friends. So is it possible that we can submit a really good digital sample work of the stuff that we want to submit for the samples?
I actually got that question earlier.
You did?
Yes.
Okay.
Let me repeat the question for the folks over Zoom, and then we can talk about what I think will be the best way for those artists. So the question was, hey, opportunity is kind of a quick turnaround, and there's work that, those that are applying, they still want to kind of flush out and stuff like that. I think the best thing to do is, if you want to apply, the question was, can the applicants apply with samples? I say, if you plan on applying with samples, if you plan on applying with work that's not fully complete, I think in your letter of interest, and also in the dates that you select, I think you should select the dates
that give you the most time.
And you say, hey, look, these are the samples. These are even past works. This is what it will look like when it's finished. But I want to select the May date, I want to select the August date because that will give me and my artist team enough time to get this work finished. I think if you communicate that, then that will be taken into consideration for the selection process. What do you think?
I definitely agree with that, and that was kind of gonna be my same sentiment. If you know you're working on work and it's already started and you have those samples, feel free to show those, but definitely show some prior work that is still finished. That way, the selection committee can get a sense of the type of work you make, even if your work is shifting a little bit, because as artists, we know every artist goes through a phase where it's like, hey, I've done that. That was my past body of work. I've learned from this and I want to transition and create this because I'm now inspired by this. So definitely feel free to include both and give a sense of what you have made. And that also shows that, hey, I'm capable of finishing this scale of work, this type of work, using this type of medium, and I have a control of it. But most certainly, I would definitely choose a date that would allow ample amount of time for you and your team to finish any pieces that you want. I think that'll definitely give you a great chance at still being able to use those works.
Is there a number of pieces that you guys recommend? I know it said up to 20. I don't know if you guys maybe already addressed it, but is it kind of like a less is more situation? Are you really just looking for your 5 strongest pieces? Or you guys really want someone to like give you so many different pieces to choose from?
I definitely think
I
the
say
more the
more
merrier.
the merrier.
Yeah, so that 20 is ideal.
Yeah.
But what work that you be displaying, I would say you be selecting your 20 strongest pieces.
Yeah.
Once we walk into the space, once we're done, you can walk through the space. I definitely think a minimum of 25 pieces would be ideal for this space.
Yeah.
Spaced out evenly, because that's another thing is that sometimes as artists, we feel like, man, like we have so much space, we have to fill it up. But sometimes that breadth between each piece, how it's spaced out, I think if you have a vision and you really map out how you want that work to be displayed, I think that'll be completely fine. But when it comes to our application, your 20 best images, and then doubling back to those sample works, if you are applying with samples, if you are applying with plans for things that are not completely finished, my advice is for you to be extremely descriptive, right? Because you will be applying against other people who may have work already ready. And that has to, that consideration has to be put in the place. So I just think that might be good for you to meet with us to really just kind of talk through, like, what does that descriptive look like? What do those descriptions look like? Is there information that needs to go beside, that work to add more context? I just think you really utilizing the fact that you're not going to be able to explain like what your work is and what it looks like. I think utilizing all of those descriptive details will give you a better advantage, even with work that you're applying with.
Someone in the comments said, do you ever do anything where artists are live painting as part of the event? And then they also asked, I have been doing a lot of art, would submitting my website be better?
So one, if within your application, in your letter of interest, you say, hey, I want to have work on display and I would like to have a live painting or live art portion, then that's completely fine if that's going to be a part of your opening exhibition. If we're essentially taking your ideas and we're selecting what you want to do as what you are going to do for this opportunity.
Submitting the work, so we're submitting the work that we want a part of the show?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not no old work like a portfolio.
Yeah. So
I was about to say, so ideally, in this specific process, for this exhibition, like I said, we want artists to submit, whether it be old work or work that's, maybe owned by somebody else that you still have access to, but work that you want to be shown in the space. So, like I said, even in your situation where you have some work that you are still working on or working towards, like I said, those samples would be great to show that, and then being very descriptive of those, like Richard said. But if you have some older works that you're like, hey, I kind of want to include this because maybe this piece shows how I got here, or it has a dialogue that maybe these two pieces talk to each other. Definitely show that older work, because you want the selection team or committee to see exactly what may be going into space, so they can add that with it, like you said, that description that you'll be given in your letter of interest. So they kind of plan 2 and 2. So it goes from somebody being able to read it and be like, man, I think that's a great idea, but I wonder what her work looks like, or I wonder what his work looks like. And then they can actually see like, oh, wow, I can really see that being in this space. We got to pick this person. I can't wait to see how they utilize it or how they activate the space with this work that's coming.
Mhm. And then second question about the website, could you repeat that question?
He said that he has a lot of artwork, and if it would be better for him to upload his website, I guess, where it has his online portfolio instead.
No, I definitely think for your letter of interest, include your website, because we may be able to, see more context of your work, but I definitely think utilizing the submittable
Yeah,
platform for
so-
those 20
So,
images.
yeah, I agree with Richard. Definitely, like I said, adding that to the letter of interest, so it gives a little bit more. That goes for anybody. If you have a site you want to show more work than their 20, but because the way we have our submittable platform set up, definitely selecting your 20 strongest and showing those. So those would be the first one anybody sees, and then you give an extra option at the end on your letter of interest if you have a website. Like, oh, I'm interested in seeing more about this artist, and that'll just be another way to add in a little bit more.
We got a question in the chat from Abby and Andreas, a correspondence. The question is, are there any limitations on what can be done in the space installation wise? For example, walls or partitions be painted with designs, or vinyl install, or prints, wheat pasted, or anything of this nature? That's actually a great question. I'll let you answer that.
So in regards to that, the limitations, as long as it doesn't destroy any of the walls of the space, and as long as it fits within your time and you have time for the deinstallation and the patching and repairs, you're perfectly fine. And as long as it doesn't have any extreme weight conditions that may cause harm or become hazardous. I know sometimes we can make very large pieces and they may become unstable due to the weight. So you definitely want to think about that, because people will be walking around during the day where we have our regular office hours, and as well during your opening reception and closing reception, if you choose to have one. Think about it in that way. But as far as any other limitations, like I said, it's pretty open. We're kind of hoping that artists kind of explore and maybe go a little wild and do some things out of their norm, or challenge themselves a little bit more. So the opportunities are almost limitless.
Mhm. And so with that recommendation, if you mind you, and we'll go back to those dates, because what's the first date? February the 3rd. We're gonna use February the 3rd as an example. Going back in time. Right. So February the 3rd is a Monday. We notify the finalists.
The week of the 27th, January 27th.
We know, and let's just say you're February. You know that your start date, you have access to the space February the 3rd. You have until February the 14th which is that is essentially a week from the 3rd to be finished with your installation. So if that's a part of your installation, you have a week to do that. So just be mindful of how long that may take you. Also, like Travis said, you also need to be mindful of the fact that you will need to restore that. Everything will have all the tools and things for you to restore it back to its factory standards, just for the next group of artists can be able to come in and have everything prepared and organized. So that's a great question. And then another thing is that what I would do if I was applying as an artist, I would come in and say, oh wow, this wall would be great for some type of vinyl installation. This wall would be great for some type of site specific artwork. Well, what I would do, I would take a picture of that, and then I would create a mock-up and a design for that. And I would use that as one of my 20 images, because, outside of trying to communicate that verbally, I think a visual aspect of that would be a great thing to apply with. So that's just something to think about. If you plan on doing something site specific in the space, is to create a mock-up, and that will kind of give us a better visual. That's just something that I would do. So I hope that answered your question and gave you a little bit more insight.
I know you said you had a third question.
It's probably-
No, ask as many as you need.
I would, so for the duration of like the show, are we able to do like a programming for one day?
Yeah.
Like something, okay.
No, definitely,
So yeah, so in our call to artists, we say opening event and closing event, but most exhibitions sometimes even have a programming
Yeah.
event. So that'll be good to kind of already give us in advance, just so we can start to create like blocks in our calendar and make sure that whatever dates you're thinking about doing that into and that'll be conversations
Yeah,
that you'll get
happy.
updated as a finalist
Yeah.
on like how to move forward with scheduling those dates, but it'll have to align with our UAC calendar.
Yep.
So
But then, like you said, definitely if you have ideas around it or you kind of already are working that out and fine tuning it, most definitely, I recommend adding it to your letter of interest as well. If you have those type of programming ideas, just to say, hey, I like Richard said earlier, I want to do an opening and this is what my opening will look like. And after that, I would like 2 weeks later or a week later to do programming that will be kind of centered around X, Y, and Z. And then on my closing reception day, I would like to do this and this and this. And then, like you said, once selected, we'll be able to move forward and really iron out those dates and be like, okay, this works with our calendar. Let's schedule it for this day and make sure that everything is available and open for you. And somebody's here to make sure doors open, lights, and anything else.
I see we got some cameras on. Do y'all have any questions, or do y'all just want to show your face? I think we have audio. How do I? Oh, y'all are good? Okay, y'all are good. Any more questions?
She always taking pictures of me, y'all. Sorry.
If not, don't hesitate to reach back out. I don't know. How do I? I don't know if anyone's talking. Okay, is anyone talking? We may be having some audio issues, so if you are talking, you might need to go into the chat. I'm sorry, technical difficulties. But if not, if there aren't any questions, thank you all for attending. This means a lot. I hope, we got one in no, we don't, do we?
No.
Okay, no, we don't. We shared a lot of information, today. I'm trying to see what else. You have anything else? Any last words, Travis?
Reach out to us.
Mhm.
Like I said, schedule a meeting with us one-on-ones. If you want any extra reviews, if you need any extra reviews, if you're hesitant, just reach out to us. Like I said, I can respond to you via email, depending. I know everybody has a different work schedule and life schedule, or if you want to come in the office. And also, if you can, please come check out the space. Like Richard said earlier, it's one thing to see it in a picture. It's another thing to actually walk in the space and then start kind of ideating what you would like to do, how you want to change lighting, how you want to see your work presented, how you want to show it to anybody or the people that will come. So I definitely recommend coming in the space if you have the time.
All right. Well, look, thank y'all so much. Grab a screenshot of this information so we can talk a little bit more about that and all the scheduling moving forward. And have a good Tuesday night.
Stay warm out there.
And please stay warm, stay safe. All right, stop sharing.